This is fucking awesome.
Years ago, George Lucas continued his Star Wars franchise with his new prequel trilogy. Today, it is the most mixed movie trilogy ever. Some people hate it, and some people like it. So, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, so this is a good time to review all three prequels. So, let's dig right into it with the very first one. Alright, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Alright, so let's put in the Phantom Menace. What? Alright, let's. Why isn't this going in? Wait. Oh, this is a DVD player. So, if you didn't know, kids, this is a VHS tape. Before Netflix streaming services and Blu-ray DVDs, and after film prints, there were these black box thingies that you'd get at a place called Blockbuster. Alright. Well, probably get the DVD version. Where is... Alright, there's the Star Wars. Alright, here's the Star Wars, the complete saga. Alright, so this is a 6 DVD pack of the first 6 episodes. I got this for episode 7 went on DVD. So, Phantom Menace, let's pop this in. The Phantom Menace. Wow, where to start with this movie? This is probably the most critically panned one out of this franchise. I mean, there's like a 1 hour and I think it's 70-minute review of this movie from a channel called Red Letter Media, and it's probably the most popular review of all time. And so what to say about this movie? It's gotten a 3D re-release. It's got a bunch of fan edits. It's the most it's up there with the worst sequels ever. This is the most strange, bad movie ever. And in a way, Phantom Menace just has kind of changed the world. I mean, the Hollywood in a way, and the fan bases. So, is the Phantom Menace really the worst movie ever? No. I don't think this movie is bad. I mean, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was just... I don't really remember anything else. The only thing that when Phantom Menace, the very first episode 1 came to mind, the only thing that came in my head was Darth Maul and the pod race. That was the only two biggest things about this movie. And so, watching it again, it's kind of mixed. It's either a mediocre movie or it's a decent movie. And sometimes it just falls in the middle, and the middle of mediocre and good, it's just average. It's an average movie, and that people just hate it. So, what are some good things? Well, alright, I think this is my favorite of the CGI effects in this entire trilogy, because the effects, they actually look kind of clean. These effects, there's only one shot where it kind of looks like a video game, and that's when they're on that spaceship, and then all the droids it kind of looks like a video game. I know a lot of people said his acting was pretty bland, but Liam Neeson, I think he is probably the best actor in the movie in a way, and also Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor. But everyone loves Ewan McGregor in these movies, but he's bland in this one. Natalie Portman. I think at times she's good when she's Padme, not when she's Amidala. And with that fake British accent, that was pretty bad. But yeah, this movie, it's an average movie. Darth Maul is cool. That lightsaber fight was good. So now Jar Jar Binks, I don't know. he was like, it's whatever. I don't think he's annoying. He's a comic relief. I mean, like, what am I supposed to? What do you suspect from a comic relief? Like, they're bound to be kind of annoying. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff in it, but it's an average movie. So, you know, I mean, like, there's a lot. I don't want to say so much about this movie. I mean, this movie's been talked a lot. Attack of the Clones. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to that one right now.
All right, episode 2. Attack of the Clones. Oh God, no, this again.
Attack of the Clones. I do not like this movie. It's the worst Star Wars movie out of the entire saga. Alright, I'm just gonna get some good things out of the way. Ewan McGregor, he's pretty good. Natalie Portman, I think her acting is a lot better. Sometimes the effects are pretty good. I like that they go to the old house from the first one. I want to get to the problem that I do when they introduce, you know, characters from the other movies, like, you know, from the original trilogy. It's not like they just introduce it. It's not, and there's no, like, they don't like make it like George Lucas doesn't give it anything magical to it, and I just hate that. And yeah, they just go to the original house, and you don't get the sense of it doesn't give you this moment to feel nostalgia for that, which is just bad. And so yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's get to the bad things. The action is so bad. So this movie came out in 2002. Pretty good year for movies. You know, you got the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You got Minority Report and The Two Towers, the Pianist, Gangs of New York, Chicago. You got pretty decent movies that, you know, came out this year. But there's a scene that is very familiar from Minority Report. And if you watch these movies both, you can tell that there are some that it is way similar. It's basically it's a scene that takes place at a factory. But yes, and Hayden Christensen, terrible actor. I mean, Chris Stockman, I mean, I don't want to talk too much because I'd rather you watch his review is more longer, and I'd go watch that because I want to keep, because this is a short review. There are two things that in this movie that he brings up. So he brings up a scene where George Lucas is watching an episode of Goosebumps that he was in called Night of the Living Dummy Part 3, and he is pretty bad in that, and it's actually kind of hard to tell if it's him. I didn't even know it was him when I first saw it because they're so unrecognizable. So, and he also brings up, at times it looks like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And yeah, I can definitely see it. But yeah, look, alright, I want to keep this review short and I want to move on. But yeah, Attack of the Clones, I hate this movie so much. Like, alright, let's move on to the best one out of this trilogy.
Alright, last one. Alright, the last but not least, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is no doubtably my favorite out of the prequel trilogy and probably my top 2 favorite Star Wars movies. And I do plan on ranking these movies right after Rise of Skywalker comes out. I'm gonna rank all 11 of these movies. So, it is definitely the most superior one. It's got the better acting, the better action, the better effects, the better writing, I think. It has the better story, and it's the one that you could just watch, and you don't have to watch the first 2. And you can just see that, you can just tell, you can just know everything already. You can just see, like, you can already know that Anakin is still learning, and Obi-Wan is still his mentor, and you can learn about the Emperor's rise of power and the Jedi Council, and you don't have to watch the other ones. That's how good this movie really is. This movie, alright, it's overrated because underrated for two reasons. One, Darth Vader shouting no, which I don't really care. It doesn't ruin the movie. The guy just lost his wife, so I don't get why people are saying that's just a bad scene. He's emotionally broken, and that's the best. That's why I feel like Darth Vader is such a great villain, because he's just tragically broken because he's lost people that he loves, and so that's what makes Darth Vader such a great villain. And I think Hayden Christensen definitely has the looks for like a young, like torn Darth Vader. That's what I like about this movie, and just how everything goes so bad, and it goes it kind of goes like how you would feel it would go. It is just a great, transition into episode 4, and I love this movie. If I would rank the prequels, it would be Attack of the Clones number 3, number 2 Phantom Menace, and number 1's Revenge of the Sith. And it definitely has some of my favorite action scenes. The opening is just it's such an epic scene with all the ships. It's a galactic battle in space. It is so epic, and just to the end with Obi-Wan and Anakin just fighting on the lava planet, and Yoda fighting the Emperor in that Senate meeting place. It's just awesome. So yeah. Revenge of the Sith is definitely one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and maybe up there with one of my favorite movies. So, thank you for watching, and I do plan on ranking these videos, and I will maybe make a follow-up to reviewing the spin-offs, and maybe even the holiday special. So, thank you for watching my video, and if you want my entire opinion on the prequels, they're flawed, not perfect movies. And that's the best part about movies, is that that to be mixed and not perfect is just kind of a good way. And it just shows that people have different opinions. And that's what I kind of like about the prequels. The people that like it or hate it, you can always have interesting conversations with them. And that's just kind of the thing about the prequels. It is mixed, but it's just fun. They're just kind of fun to talk about. And so there's a documentary called The People vs. George Lucas, and I've watched it before. It's kind of controversial, but definitely check that out. So thank you for watching, and subscribe.